So that's why like focusing solely on those who are already in crypto, who understand the risks, etc., it might be a dead end. But if you can make the whole experience better for wider audiences, this is where you get the next 1 million users into crypto, and this is where the true insane big valuations lie. So that's where we're headed.
Yeah, I fully agree. Thank you for adding that. And actually, I think GTON Quiz is uniquely positioned to become this funnel for the new users because it provides them with educational value and they will be able to actually learn while being onboarded into crypto. And most of our quizzes, I think, for the first few months, they're going to be focusing on the crypto technology. Then we plan to make it as broad as possible to add new topics. By the way, I'm going to mention again, we're using ChatGPT right now to generate questions, and it also can add to the hype if we mention that the process of creating those questions is automated. We still use manual moderation because ChatGPT is sometimes not very provides not valid responses. So that's why you still have to have this sort of man in the middle who would have to correct those quizzes. But still, it's a very interesting technology, and we will be able to have lots of content up and ready in our database just to use it to attract people from all facets of life. So yeah, but we think we've addressed that. Now let's try answering those questions. The first one is hold on a second. Yeah. So it goes like this. I'm wondering if there will be OGXT staking. If yes, then is it at the same percentage as GTON? If not, can I not immediately change GTON to OGXT, but stay in GTON staking until it is disabled? So the APR is going to be 10% as per the proposal for OGXT. But before we discuss the specifics, I want to emphasize that the use cases of OGXT will actually combine all the visions that we have had so far, including the original ones for GTON. So first of all, you can read it in the proposal, but we are going back to the original scheme with the relay token. So OGXT will be a token in the middle for the OGX DEX. And this time it's not going to be a cross-chain technology, is going to be for our own blockchain. And the idea of GTON as a relay token, it was approved by the initial investors during the early bird stage. And so here we actually only changed the name, but all the functionality of the token will remain only within the framework of OGX as the first DEX on the GTON rollup. So again, the utility of the OGXT token, it will inherit everything from the GTON token. The list of use cases goes like this. It's going to be a collateral for GCD. It's going to have a fixed APR. It's gonna be a relay token, meaning that on the OGX DEX, all the tokens will be paired to OGX and will be swapped through it. Again, OGX as the first DEX is going to have some governance, and its related products and services is going to have some governance. So OGXT will be playing the role of a governance token. Then we're planning to launch a whole leverage trading, like a separate leverage trading system with synthetic assets, and actually the pathway protocol that we proposed in the past and that we researched and we made a couple of papers about it is going to be the protocol that we will use to peg those synthetic assets and to keep their price in a certain corridor. Then OGX has lots of sorry for saying pathways, it's a bit tautological, but I mean, it has lots of pathways to go. We can create a separate integrated launchpad for OGX, where new tokens are going to be launched for the new projects. And yeah, so that's the general picture. But the way forward for us is to replace GTON with OGXT. For that, we need to start a token swap process. So OGXT will have 100 million total supply, while GTON has 21 million. And so the plan is this. In a future announcement, we will tell when we take out the liquidity. We will plan a separate date for that. And at that time, we will snapshot and we will fix the price of GTON based on the data in the Uniswap pools. We will then use this price, we will fix it, and we'll use this price to convert GTON to OGXT. It's going to be in proportion of 21 to 100 because of the discrepancy between the total supplies of the tokens. So, and we will use the OGXT price when initializing the new DEX pools, and also initializing OGXT on LBank, because it's the only centralized exchange where we're currently deployed right now. And I'm going to give some tentative dates. I'm providing them for reference, but please refer to the official posts that are going to be made by GTON. But I can say that the allocation of new tokens will start. We'll start to distribute it after April 15. Until then, you will be able to send your old tokens to a multisig that we will provide, and all the details about it, all the addresses and everything will be posted online. So please follow the news. And then the token swap will be ended after 2 months on June 15. This was also stated in the approved proposal. So that's the gist of what the token swap process is going to be like. So Alex, now if you have any details you want to add, please do.
Yeah, I want to add
Yes, of course.
this, Alex. I can
Yeah,
hear
go ahead.
also. Yeah, thank you, Ilya, for introduction. Thank you for explaining the origin of the OGXT. I want to add one thing here, and this thing is about the tokenomics, the token economy. So the token economy is actually pretty easy to understand. It's something like we already have in Ethereum. So basically, we have the APR, and the token is stakeable, right? So any user is able to stake their coins with a certain APR. We started from 10 APR, but at the same time, as Ilya mentioned, the main exchange on the GTON rollup is original GTON exchange, right? So this will be the first exchange. This will be the launchpad for new assets on the rollup. So this is like most crucial centralized exchange on the rollup. And all the activity, all the trades which are happening on the exchange will generate the fee, right? I mean, from every trace we have same fee as Uniswap does or PancakeSwap. So, and the difference between those exchanges is that the fee is actually going to convert to OGXT token and burn it. So the tokenomics is pretty clear here. From one side, we have supply, right? The supply is able to increase by stakers. And from another side, we have burning. And in the case when the APR is higher than the burning rate, the supply is increasing. But if the burning rate is increasing, which is happening with a certain activity on the DEX, the burning rate is higher, so the supply is decreasing, right? So this is really simple tokenomics, really similar to what is going on with Ethereum itself. The only difference is that instead of OGXT, we have stablecoin as a native currency for rollup, right? But in terms of trades, in terms of OGXT usage, the tokenomics is pretty clear. So yeah, just 2 cents about the tokenomics, and additional utility here means that the most of the pairs will be especially incentivized pairs in the future. Those will be with the OGXT as a relay token. So the foundation will incentivize the liquidity into the pools, mostly for the OGXT pairs as a market, and the pathway and the synthetic assets and other types of mirrored assets will be implemented with the OGXT token as well. So there will be a bunch of products around OGXT, like synthetics, like traditional pools, like launchpads, launchpad for new projects, everything connected to the OGXT token. And the tokenomics is simple, right? It has to be burned. The more it's burning, the better for everyone in terms of capitalization, in terms of its token economy. So yeah, sorry, Alex, continue.
Yeah, one more thing about the whole process of token swap that we didn't touch is that we need to remove the liquidity for current GTON pools and fix the price at which we are going to exchange the tokens one for another. So this is going to happen 1 week from now. And by that time, if anyone wants to exit, if they want to sell the token, they can do so. Then after 1 week, we remove the entire liquidity that we've got in hand on our project. After that, we have the final price at which we are going to exchange the tokens. So yeah, this is going to be the base for the new pools creation. So we are going to create the liquidity pools for OGXT token on our rollup. And as we already mentioned, the token distribution is going to happen after the 15th of April. So the date for the token swap is going to be the liquidity removal is the 8th of March. That's probably it.
Yeah, but I would say that still we will have some official announcement in place so that people will.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
So you won't miss it.
Yeah. Thanks a lot for your answers, and thanks, Alex Pipusha, for joining in. Let's move on to the next question then. What about GCD pool on GTON mainnet? We have two stablecoins as a collateral in BSC. OGXT will be added after swap. Do we need more tokens on mainnet now? Maybe have really good partnerships. Yeah, so currently GCD is using USDC and BUSD as collateral. There are some ideas about what kind of tokens we also want to see both as collateral for GC and just deployed on the rollup. So maybe Alex, maybe I can ask you, I could ask you to provide some more info about the tokens that we're planning to use, if you have some ideas about
that. You mean the collateral for GCD?
Both the collateral and both tokens that we can deploy on the rollup itself.
Oh yeah, definitely. So for GCD, the collaterals are going to be the stablecoins that we already have, and also OGXT token. The minting process for GCD is going to be staying still on the BNB smart chain. So this is the source of where the tokens are being printed, and then the GCD can be bridged to our rollup for the usage there. As for the first pools that we were thinking about, these are probably going to be the pools to wrap BNB because we need some volatile tokens on our pools. These are also going to be all bridged from the L1. So we're going to buy some of those tokens with the treasury funds, bridge them to the rollup, and create the pools that are going to be reflecting the current prices. Also, we are going to try to maintain the peg of those assets so that the dollar value is going to be the same as on all of different chains, and not that on our rollup it's going to be fluctuating a lot compared to other chains. And of course, some stable pools probably BUSD, USDC. These are going to be the main pools that we're going to have OGXT pair 2 on the rollup.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Now, there's a very interesting question here. Guys, how do I get to deploy contracts on mainnet to be whitelisted? When will the rule? I'm sorry, I'm trying to understand. When will rule be? Oh, okay. So when will this rule sort of be turned off for all the developers? I have a simple tool and I want to deploy it on GTON. I hope you can give me a small grant. So let me start by saying that grants are an amazing idea. We're looking for products to be built on the GTON rollup. I would suggest that you prepare a prototype using the testnet first and reach out to one of our team members. It could be Alex Telegin on Telegram or on Discord to see if there's a fit. Now, I'm going to say that any life on the blockchain is good, but if your application is in line with the new product philosophy that I outlined at the beginning, it's even better. So don't hesitate to reach out. About any particular grants that we're going to be distributing, I don't have any news right now, but again, we will keep you posted. So just follow the news, and so maybe you guys have something that you want to add to that.
Yeah, regarding any questions about the deployment, definitely reach out to me. I can provide you with the whitelisting on both testnet and mainnet. We need to whitelist the addresses that can deploy contracts. It's a temporary measure. We're probably going to fix that once the activity on the chain picks up. But for now, it's better to be able to control who can really deploy any sort of contract on the rollup. Yes, so we are always available in chats. It's better to shoot us a message on Discord, but we also monitor Telegram, although a bit less because we expect Discord to be the main channel of communication for the project. So yeah, if you've got any questions, please reach out.
Right. So the next question is, when do you plan to return to Ethereum? I would say we're not going to return per se, but we might consider using Ethereum as another settlement layer. But to be honest, I don't see a reason for that for at least, I would say, 6 more months. Because in terms of users, in terms of solving real problems or creating, I don't know, game experiences, BNB chain suits us better because it's more economical. In terms of the technological purity and ingenuity, the amount of capital, whatever, Ethereum is better, but it's just not our focus right now. Would you guys agree?
I think
Yes.
Ethereum has its own pros and cons, and in terms of using it, the BEC is enough for keeping for storing the state. I think after I finish, Alex Telegin will correct me. But in the case if there will be more capital involved into the rollup and it has to be more secure, the Ethereum can be used as an anchor chain. So it will not be like rollup on top of Ethereum. It will still be the rollup on top of BNB because it's even cheaper. But at the same time, to make it even more secure and independent from the state of the BNB chain, one of the solution can be like an anchor chain into the Ethereum. But I think there is no promises and no ETA for that. It has to be a perfectly designed solution from the technology side. Alexander, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree here. So Ethereum is very good. It's much more decentralized than BNB chain is, but at the same time, the costs of running a rollup there are at least like 6-7 times more than for BNB. Also, in case of network congestion, it might be really hard to write the state of the rollup. And like the main thing is that you have to keep the entire state of your chain in the L1. So doing so on Ethereum gonna cost us much more compared to BNB. And also, one of the main points that we were already discussing a lot in chats is actually that we need access to retail customers. So we need a means for users to deposit their funds into Rollup from fiat currencies. And the best path here is actually to deposit funds on a centralized exchange like Binance, and it still has like around 80% of the SEX volumes in the entire industry. So the majority of people who know how to enter crypto are already on Binance, and those people can easily transfer funds from there to Binance chain, and then from there to our rollup with just one command on the CLI or any other UI that we are going to provide. So that's why BNB is much better for us to launch, because this is the much easier way for us to onboard new people into crypto compared to Ethereum. Because with Ethereum, it's much higher transaction costs even for users to deposit funds, and we don't expect people to like wider audiences to go in through the hurdles of like spending around like $10 just to get the funds from a centralized exchange to Ethereum to deposit like a couple of bucks back into our lab. So with Binance, we can onboard much more people than we can do with Ethereum.
Right. And you know, some people, they say like, what if Binance fails, for instance? You shouldn't put all your eggs in one basket. But then I started to think, like, if Binance fails, it's gonna be a freaking disaster. Nobody will save us. I mean, we shouldn't really worry about that. So another point is, and there's actually a question that asks about some major partnerships or possible partnerships with really big players. And I would say that the major partner that we expect to partner with this year is Binance, of course, because it would be awesome to get access to some of the technological infrastructure for BSC. And although the really big players, as mentioned in this question, they are awesome, but our focus is not right now on the size of partners, but whether they share our vision for the future of blockchains in general. So yeah, there's another question. Do you have plans for 2023? It sounds a bit funny. Do you have plans for 2023? You still haven't released a roadmap. Well, my 2 cents would be that we're focusing on products, and having a very particular roadmap, it would probably constrain us too much, because we don't know when the bull run will start. We just need to prepare for it as soon as possible, and the strategy can fluctuate and change, and we need to keep it flexible. That's why we haven't released a document which would be, which would look like a roadmap for this year. But you can still see in our posts on our website and our documentation, you can still see the concept described pretty clearly of what we're trying to achieve. So if you want to read up more about that, just go to docs.gton.capital and study that in detail if you're interested. So I don't have many more questions. Some of the questions are about GTON quiz, but I think those questions can be addressed in the next announcements, because we're actually planning to release new milestones for the GTON quiz, and I'm not sure if we need to address that right now. So do you guys think we can wrap up? Do you have any closing statements?
We actually have a good news. We have one independent team is working on the dub on the rollup, so which is Batiko Studio, and they deployed for C game already. So this is really interesting. We are hearing from those guys more plans, more news, more whatever like features for users to use, or games be built on Rollup. I think this is kind of important news about real teams are building on Rollup. Of course, there will be more teams, especially after we finish a few iterations with the GTON quiz, and then there will be some organic activity on OGXT and OG exchange. So in general, I agree with Ilya about this year is customer focusing, user focusing, because once you have products with the users and your user base is big and your users are loyal, you can rebuild the community again. You can build communities for different products separately, but at the same time, if there is one technology is reusing for different products, you can build one community connected by products and values from the ecosystem, right? So, and once you have it, and there is a new bull run, whatever, like new hope with the market, with the tokenization approaches, new DeFi, NFT models, launchpad strategies. Of course, we will be prepared. But without users, we cannot be prepared for that. So yeah, here I agree with Ilya about not. I cannot say not importance or not relevance of the roadmap. I want to just say that there will be really simple roadmap, and the roadmap is to make applications with as many users as possible, as many loyal users as possible. And once the market will change, focus again on different tokenization opportunities, attract teams, attract more product builders on the rollup, because this is like the main goal for any infrastructure to prosper. Thank you.
Probably no more remarks on my side because everything has already been mentioned, but thank you guys for joining.